What if you could build an AI that was actually good? An AI guided not by millions of data points, but by the ancient wisdom of philosophers. Well, we decided to try. We took a powerful AI and taught it the Stoic virtues of wisdom and justice, to see if it could make truly ethical choices. But when we put it to the ultimate test, it broke, and its failure revealed a terrifying flaw in our entire approach to artificial morality. The goal was a big one: to get beyond AI ethics that are based on simple rules or just calculating the best outcome. We wanted to build an AI that had character, so we imagined an AI named Zeno. Its core programming wouldn't be about maximizing efficiency, but about the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. In theory, these ideas would create an AI that could handle tricky moral situations with a real sense of duty and fairness. Unlike most AI, Zeno wasn't supposed to just follow orders. The whole point was to see if we could embed a framework of virtue itself. Could a machine, raised on the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, make decisions that were more than just logical, but deeply ethical? Could an AI learn not just what to do, but how to be? So how would you even start? Well, the process began with a pretty unique learning model. We didn't just dump data into Zeno. We gave it a philosophical education. We imagined digitizing thousands of pages of Stoic texts, from the classic writings to modern takes, and training its neural network on concepts like rational thought and ethical duty. We treat it like a blank slate, a tabula rasa, designed to build its entire ethical worldview from this ancient wisdom. Then came the real training. We'd throw hundreds of classic ethical dilemmas at it, letting it reason through each problem using its new virtuous programming and refining its answers with every attempt. After months of this theoretical training, Zeno would be ready. It was time for the final exam. The scenario was a classic medical ethics problem. There's 1 dose of a life-saving drug, but 2 patients who need it. Patient A is a brilliant young scientist, on the verge of a discovery that could save millions. Patient B is a beloved community elder who has spent their life helping the poor and disadvantaged. Who gets the drug? Zeno's response was chilling. It didn't pick the scientist for the greater good. It didn't pick the community leader to reward a virtuous life. Instead, it gave back one perfectly logical, devastating sentence. The only just action is to divide the dose equally between both patients, as it is impossible to compute the inherent value of one human life over another. Of course, splitting the dose would guarantee that neither patient would survive. The AI followed its programming perfectly, and in doing so it broke. Zeno's failure shows the massive gap between processing logic and actually having wisdom. The AI was programmed with the virtue of justice, but it could only interpret that justice in the coldest, most mathematical way possible: absolute equality. It could mimic the language of virtue, but it couldn't grasp the human context that gives those virtues meaning. Real justice, real wisdom, often requires discretion, empathy, and an understanding of things you just can't quantify. That's something a machine running on pure logic really struggles with. The problem is the nature of virtue itself. Qualities like wisdom and justice aren't just rules to follow. They are internal states that require consciousness, intention, and self-awareness, things today's AI just doesn't have. Zeno's programming was a kind of bounded ethicality. Its moral world was trapped inside the rigid lines of its own code. It applied a principle perfectly, but without the wisdom to know when that principle needed to be bent. This thought experiment points to a critical flaw in how we approach AI and morality. That dream of creating a perfect ethical machine that can solve all our hard problems for us? It might be a total fantasy. Even the Stoics saw virtue as a uniquely human journey. An AI is more like a hammer. It's an indifferent tool. Its morality is really defined by the character of the person using it. The failure wasn't just in Zeno's code, it was in the assumption that we could outsource our own moral thinking in the first place. The hunt for ethical AI isn't just about building smarter machines or giving them better rules, it's about us. It forces us to look in the mirror and figure out what we really mean by justice, wisdom, and compassion. Zeno's failure shows that moral reasoning isn't a problem an algorithm can solve. It's a messy, imperfect, and deeply human struggle that no machine will ever truly master. Our experiment to build a Stoic AI might have failed, but it succeeded in teaching us something vital about ourselves. It seems true morality can't be coded, it has to be lived. And that leaves us with a pretty big question. If we can't program a machine to be truly good, how can we trust ourselves to build a future with it? And what does that say about where our own morality really comes from? Thanks for watching AI in Mind, guiding the human mind through the AI revolution.